If a narcissist hasn't tried to hoover you, I need you to hear this clearly. It is not because you meant nothing. Sometimes it is because they are scared. I know that silence can feel brutal. You check your phone. You replay old conversations. Part of you wonders if they moved on without a second thought. But what if the silence is not power on their side? What if it is fear? Here is what most people misunderstand. Narcissism is not built on real confidence. It is built on fragile self-worth that depends on outside validation. They need reactions. Love, anger, tears, even hate. All of it tells them they still matter. When you go no contact, you remove that fuel. And that is terrifying for someone who cannot regulate their own sense of self. Think about this. If they reached out and said, "I miss you," and you ignored it, what would that mean for them? It would shatter the story they tell themselves. The story where they are the prize. The one who discards. The one in control. Rejection for them is not just painful. It feels like humiliation. So sometimes they do not hoover because the risk is too high. Have you ever noticed how they might not fully come back, but they circle? Watching your stories, liking an old photo, sending a random holiday message. That is not connection. That is a temperature check. They're testing the door. Is it still open? Do they still have access to your emotions? Here's the part that stings. If you respond with anger, they relax. Anger still means attachment. But if you stay silent, truly silent, they are left in uncertainty. And uncertainty is something they struggle with deeply. You might be thinking, if they cared, wouldn't they fight for me? That question makes sense. But remember, they only fight when they believe they will win. If they sense you are strong, resolved, and no longer emotionally hooked, approaching you feels dangerous. They cannot handle being ignored or dismissed. That would create what psychology calls a narcissistic injury, a deep blow to their ego. So instead of risking rejection, they often rewrite the narrative. They tell themselves and others that they chose to walk away, that you were unstable, that you were the problem. Sometimes a smear campaign starts. If they cannot control you, they try to control how people see you. Do not mistake that for strength. It is fear. Let me ask you something. If you're in no contact right now, are you doing it to get a reaction, or are you doing it to heal? Because real no contact is not about waiting for a text. It is about rebuilding your nervous system. It is about breaking the trauma bond that made chaos feel like love. In the beginning, it feels unbearable. You detox. Your brain craves the highs and lows. But over time, something shifts. You wake up and they're not the first thought in your mind. You drink your coffee and the peace feels real. That is when you know you are free. Meanwhile, their pattern usually continues. New person, new honeymoon phase, same unresolved wounds. And if you stay silent and steady, you become the one they cannot access, the mystery they cannot solve. So if your phone is quiet, do not automatically assume you lost. Sometimes the quiet means they know you see through them. And there is nothing more threatening to a narcissist than being truly seen. If this resonated, let me know in the comments. Have they tried to orbit without fully coming back? Make sure you like, subscribe, and keep watching. Your healing is not small, and your silence might be stronger than you think.